Hey there, good evening, everybody. How are you? We're at the Englewood City Council meeting tonight for public comment. And look who's back joining us tonight. Ricky made it back. So, how was your night last night, Ricky?
Um, Tiring by the time I got there, and all the people, and the mixture of all the different people out there.
How many people were in there?
Well, they had different
You
areas
just
of
got
the
the
hotel.
floor, right?
Yeah, I got the floor.
So Englewood did take him to Denver last night
I mean,
for
between
shelter. And
ambulances.
by the time they got there, of course, it's all overflow, so they put him on the floor with a mat. Yeah.
Oh, they had carts or those things you have that live above the ground, the
Cots.
crates, the cots.
The cots.
I mean, on
got a
pallets,
cot?
on pallets, but no one used them. So
Oh, interesting. So how many people were in that area that you
I'd
slept in?
say probably in the wing I was in about 50. So there's
50?
probably about there's two buses, two bus loads full of people that came, that left in the morning. So I'm not sure at nighttime, but I know it's different wings. And it had Salvation Army actually on the door. It was at, what was it at? Hotel was it?
That
Best Western.
was the Best Western on Quebec.
And
Yeah,
that whole
Salvation
area over
Army's
there.
running that.
The whole area over there is housing people in hotels and stuff, and it's just
Right.
it's a hotel room. It's a housing down here.
Right.
It's not really apartment. It's housing. It's a hotel room. It's
Yeah.
Not, it's not.
And it's transitional.
And
It's
that's-
not
yeah.
it's not permanent.
exactly.
So yeah, there is that. So
And there's people out there selling drugs.
really,
Yeah, it's not great. It's just like an encampment, but in a hotel and way down by the
Right.
bridges, and
right.
it's nothing I would want to live in and then continue on working and doing all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm bettering myself, you know.
Yeah, you are.
I'd rather wait for an actual apartment or a duplex or something that I can mix my disability with, or with a roommate or something that we could share an efficiency or something.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, we're here tonight. Ricky's even he even signed up for public comment. He made his way back over here and was kind of asking me about shelter tonight. So I told him we'd meet up over here, and we've at least got him some warm gear.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got that done. Thank you, my friend who sent all those heaters. Yes, ma'am. So, hey, Shelley. Shelley's been joining us a lot now that she's in that motel and she's got access to keep her stuff charged and has some Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna give some public comment tonight. I only get 3 minutes. I didn't sign up for the 5-minute. The only 5-minute speaker tonight is Denver Metro Audits. He is on the agenda to speak this evening. I don't know what he's speaking on. So he'll be the first speaker. I'll be the second on the 3-minute public comment. Ricky will be the third. So. Grueling day today, very grueling day. Took Robert to the doctor, and the news is not good. And I have had to commit to a very lengthy process to get the man where he needs to be so he can have recovery. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But here's why it was grueling. It wasn't the fact of getting him there and getting to the doctor and seeing his foot again. It was the fact that through the process I learned his family's been trying to find him for several months. And they went downtown and passed out flyers. And that information made it into the HMIS system, which is the Homeless Management Information System. that homeless providers use to communicate, especially for folks like Robert that get lost. And there was a message in there with a phone number to contact his family. So he was, let's just say he was in tears to know that. And he did call and had a conversation, and then I had a conversation with his family. And he, at this point, is going to lose half of his foot. That's the predicted piece right now. Of course, that's not the final decision. He'll first have to be evaluated by the podiatrist and then the orthopedic surgeon. And so that's going to take a lot of time. And in the meantime, there's no housing for him, believe it or not. So thank you to these generous donors that I have that, yeah, and Angela, you've been exceptionally generous, and I thank you very, very much, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without you and another donor that I can call on. So, yeah, we're in a race for time with him. Yeah. Ricky's having his mom log in and watch.
She said, I'm there, but you weren't up there for a while.
She'll see you.
Oh,
There's
yes,
a delay. There we go. Right on. Yep.
I'm right
Awesome.
next to
Hi, Mom.
Joyce Murray.
Joyce Mary.
Murray, yeah.
Joyce Marie.
Murray, yeah.
So does
She
she
says I see it.
does she have an account so she can participate in the live chat?
Yeah, I think so. She probably has it on her YouTube.
Yeah. Tell her to leave a comment so we can see her.
Yeah, she said, leave a comment, Mom.
Make a comment, Mom.
Mom, leave a comment. No, stay anonymous. Watching it.
So, yeah, it's gonna be a long haul for Robert. So, I'll keep you posted. I knew that I was probably walking into something intense. That's why I stopped. Homeless people don't lay on a bench for weeks on end if something's wrong. And guess what else I learned today? That wasn't the first time Englewood cited him. That was the second time. Yeah. So he's on this court docket here coming up pretty soon in February. And instead of Englewood helping, they put him on the court docket so the courts could solve homelessness. Yeah. So you've heard me talking about Jefferson and the courts and everything that they're setting them up for failure with, and it's just a mess. So you're never going to hear me asking. You're never. Oh, my girl, Aurora. Check this out, Aurora Transparency. She says, "Damn, Ricky could be a model."
Oh, I'm too old for that.
I swear he's so handsome.
Oh, thank you very much.
He says he's too old for that. How old's too old, Ricky?
I don't know, how old are they?
How old does he look? Let's get an audience opinion here. How old does Ricky look? Wink, wink. How old does Ricky look? Let's see what we got. Thank you, Shelley. I will. One of my friends says you look 35. That's our first guess. Let him keep guessing. Another one says 26.
Wow.
Wow, we're doing good.
We're doing good.
We're doing good. And no filters. We no filters. Here's somebody. He says 42, but I'm a guy. Right? Guys always try to tell the truth. with other dudes,
Right,
right?
right.
Denise says you're 29. Shane says you're 45. Jeannie says you're 32. So are you going to tell us what the magic number is?
50.
He's doing it well. Doing it well. Oh, Shelly, even guessed. Shelly guessed 50 before you said it.
1973.
And Judith says, too young for me, sadly. Yeah, Denise, I'm 29, so yeah, come on. D.R. Broden says I'm an old white dude, and he's handsome. I think he's about 42.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stories, right? And so, yeah, I'll be excited to hear what Ricky's going to talk about tonight, too. He's going to, I mean, we only get 3 minutes, right? So how much can we say in 3 minutes? But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Ricky's so soft-spoken, I'll bet you he can sing. Boom.
Maybe. Not tonight.
He says maybe. Not tonight.
Not tonight.
He can sing. Hey, Sean. Or play guitar like a freak.
Drums.
Drums. Irish Rover. Wars have been started in under 3 minutes. How's it going?
Hey. How you been?
I've been okay.
You sound sick or something.
Yeah, I've got a throat thing going on.
Oh, great.
I've been out in the cold for the last 4 days.
Oh, dude.
So,
doing the,
I mean, I feel okay, but I just...
Well, thank God it finally warmed up a little bit today.
Today's a heat wave.
Yeah.
Today's a heat wave.
It was like,
This is my friend Ricky. Ricky, this is, he goes by Denver Metro Audits on YouTube. Yeah, he's going to speak tonight too, so.
Okay.
did you get the agenda?
Yeah, I looked at it.
Who's first?
You are.
I'm first again?
Yep.
What are you?
First on the 3 minute.
Oh, you didn't get
So I'm
the-
after you.
Oh, okay. There's only, I'm the only 5 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you are.
You didn't need 5 minutes this time?
Yeah, but I didn't get signed up. I had other things.
Okay.
I wasn't even sure I'd be here, so, but I am. So I'll take my 3 minutes and talk about the catastrophic effects of Englewood's lack of response on emergency preparation for a killer storm.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the Englewood PD did a pretty damn good job, except they fucked it all up when they took him out to Aurora for shelter on Friday. Took Ricky to Aurora because the shelter wouldn't let him in here in Englewood. And then Englewood turned around and arrested him Sunday at the shelter here for a fucking traffic warrant.
Just think. Just think.
Yeah.
Really appreciates it.
Yeah,
Also.
yeah. I just don't get it.
And they left somebody in charge that was
Yeah.
recently and just now joining sober living, and he just obviously has a lot of mental issues with himself, and he would get some rage real easy, and I was actually on his side and stuff, but he told me move here, here, and here, and I was trying to clean my wound. I just had stitches.
Yeah, he just got staples out of his head. Oh, is the meeting starting? I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's get in there. But, yeah,
I
his,
did have a conversation with Lewis.
oh,
He
did
said
you?
that they're looking into it to see.
Oh, he always says that. He doesn't fucking change a thing. He always says that.
Really?
Yes. Always. I'm sorry, Ricky, I didn't
Well,
mean to
I'm
cut
gonna-
you off,
I'm
but
gonna bring up-
his story is a big deal.
I'm gonna bring up the rest of the stuff that I missed in the last one. On that thing.
Oh, okay. All right, that sounds good. I'm looking at my phone. I gotta make sure. I usually like to sit up front myself. We'll just really sit up front.
What's that guy's name who's running the place?
Say that again?
What's that lady's name who's running the place? Jim?
Starts with a J.
Jennifer? Jim? Cool weather stuff like
I can't remember her name right off the top of my head. I can find it, I think. Sorry, guys.
All right, everyone, we are back. I call this meeting to order. If you're able to do so, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. City Clerk, please take roll call.
Yes, good evening. Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Present.
Member Newington. Present. Member Green. Present. Member Russell.
Present.
Member Ward.
Present.
Member Wright. Present. Mayor Sierra.
Present.
All seven present.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 5. This is minutes of the regular city council meeting of January 8th. Any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve?
Move to approve the minutes from January 8th.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Member Praying. Can we please vote?
Mayor Pro
Jessica.
Tem Anderson.
Aye.
Jessica.
Member Newington. Aye. Member Crane. Aye. Member Russell. Aye. Member Ward.
Aye.
Member Wright. Aye. Mayor Sierra.
Aye.
Let the record show 7 ayes.
Thank you. Moving on to 5B, the minutes of the special city council meeting on January 9th. Any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve the minutes from January 9th.
Thank you, Member Russell. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Member Wright. Can we please vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Anderson.
Aye.
Member Newington. Aye. Member Crane. Aye. Member Russell.
Aye.
Member Ward.
Aye.
Member Wright.
Aye.
Mayor Sierra.
Aye.
Let the record show 7 ayes.
Thank you. No agenda item 6, moving on to recognition of scheduled public comment. The deadline to sign up for scheduled public comment is Wednesday by 5 p.m. prior to the meeting through the city clerk's office. This is an opportunity for the public to address city council. There's an expectation that the presentation will be conducted in a respectful manner. Council may ask questions for clarification, but there will not be any dialogue, and please limit your presentation to 5 minutes. Member Newcamp will be giving a response to public comment tonight. Only one speaker tonight. We have Christopher Cordova here to address council. Good evening, Mr. Cordova. If you could just state your name and your address across, please.
Make sure the mic's on this time. Sorry. Alright, good? Okay. My name is Christopher. I'm not gonna give my address, and I'm back today to redress the standards of behavior. And before, just about 20 minutes ago, I actually had a conversation with Mr. Lewis, and he informed me that you guys are looking into it, or he's looking into it. I guess it was a policy that he had adopted from Longmont, I believe. So, Mr. Anderson, last time you had asked me if there's anything else in here that is unconstitutional that I saw. So, upon further review, there's actually several things. So, I want to get right into it. But before we do that, I'd like to address the things that are not unconstitutional. So we do have several different things here. We got threats, harassment, vandalism, stuff like that. Mr. Lewis, these things are already illegal, so this seems a bit redundant to me. I mean, we could put any old thing on here, we against our policy to murder anyone, in an Englewood city facility. It seems silly to me. And honestly, it seems a bit patronizing to me because we're all adults here, and the way this is written is like, we don't need to be told that we're not supposed to harass people or threaten people, stuff like that, right? Well, let's jump right into the unconstitutional stuff that I noticed. Disruptive activity / behavior such as noise, music, or voices. Clear violation of the First Amendment, Mr. Lewis. Now, again, this is vaguely written, so downstairs in the library, that is a limited public forum, so my First Amendment protected activity cannot disrupt the rest of the patrons' use of the library. So I can't go in there banging drums and hollering obscenities. But it says right on here, Mr. Lewis, city parks. So that's a traditional public forum, and we have the most protection under the First Amendment in a traditional public forum. So at a city park, I can go there and I can scream obscenities all day. There's nothing you guys can do about that. Bringing in personal possessions or garbage with foul odor, that goes again with the body odor stuff. So what is garbage to you or you guys may not be garbage to someone else. Maybe that is everything they own. And I mean, this doesn't seem like even a legitimate scenario. I mean, do you guys have an issue with people bringing in bags of garbage that's stinking up the place? I mean, maybe it doesn't seem very legitimate to me. Leaving personal property unattended. I hope that you don't think that you can ban someone for leaving their backpack somewhere. Failure to wear clothing covering the upper body, clear violation of the First Amendment. Mr. Lewis, you can't ban someone for wearing a bikini. It does say genitalia. Of course, I can't come in here naked, but this is public. This is the people's building. It's not your personal, privately owned business. And if it was, you could say no red shirts, no bikinis. But if somebody wants to wear a bikini in a public facility, that's protected under the First Amendment.
That's right.
Pornography viewing. Now, although I do not advocate for people watching pornography in public, I'm also against the idea of banning it, and it's a slippery slope, and I think it's dangerous, but I don't have time to go into all the details with that right now, maybe on the next one, but I will just say that the benefit does not outweigh the risk, and Mr. Lewis, you can't do it because it's illegal, so you will get yourself in some trouble with some civil rights lawsuits if you guys try to kick someone out for that. There's lots of things on here. I don't have time to go through everything, but that's just a big bulk of it right there. There's definitely more stuff on here. So I appreciate you, Mr. Lewis, having the conversation with me, saying that you're looking into it. I wanted to bring the rest of this stuff to your attention. Really, what I think we want, the people want, we just want this to go away. We don't need to be told that we're not allowed to harass people or vandalize things or steal stuff. And this policy here, it's policy. And we're not bound to the policy, we're bound to the law. So regardless, you can make policy for the city employees, but we don't have to abide by this, and you actually have no authority to ban anyone, even if they break the law here. So if somebody comes in here and harasses someone and the police are called and they get trespassed, they can come back the next day if they have business here. Now, if they want to get in trouble and do it again, that's on them, keep getting trespassed, or maybe the courts get determined that they can't come back, but you guys, the city managers, sir, don't have the authority to ban anyone. So I just want to say, I don't run out of time, that when you swear oath to the Constitution, it's not just a formality to get the job, sir. So I'm asking you, please, honor your effort. Let's get rid of this.
Mr. Cordova, thank you very much for your time tonight. Any questions for members of the council? Seeing none, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Cordova. All right, that concludes scheduled public comment. We're moving on to unscheduled public comment. Same rules apply, we limit to 3 minutes. Up first is Regan Benson here to speak to Englewood's response to homelessness. Good evening, Ms. Benson.
Evening, City Council, Regan Benson, Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition. You're looking at frostbite right now. Real cases. Right there, that one is purely black now. That man, same foot. He's losing at minimum half of his foot. That man had his finger amputated. These are real people that us advocates, unpaid advocates have worked with out here on the streets. One man had that foot right there, had 3/4 of his leg amputated. This is from lack of response and emergency preparedness. That man right there, that foot, he laid on a bench in Englewood for weeks. And your city spent $1.4 million partnering with Tri-Cities homelessness. And it says right there in their chart what they're responsible for, and it's response to homelessness. I took this man to the doctor today. I'm essentially married to this man for probably the next 6 months. 3 times a week, wound care, podiatrist, orthopedist. Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars that is on the healthcare system? Because of a lack of emergency preparedness in your city. These are real people. Guess what else I learned today? This man, severe dehydration, hypothermia, malnutrition, had no clue what was going on. Your city cited him twice for urinating in public because the man can't walk. Guess what else I found out today? His family's been looking for him for 3 months because he is in the HMIS system that Mike Sandgren can't seem to access through Tri-Cities homelessness to do a simple for that. You've heard me talking about that as well. You guys are very lucky nobody died. At least I haven't got word yet that nobody died in Englewood. We're still missing a 73-year-old man from the last 4 days. 73 years old, had police contact. This is the first time I can ever stand here and say that the Englewood PD pretty much did a consistently good job until they turned around and arrested this guy that's gonna come talk to him. That's it.
Ms. Benson, thank you for your time. Any questions? Member Wright?
Ms. Benson, you mentioned HMIS system,
Homeless Management Information System.
and can you explain to me what that is?
It's a government system, and providers that serve the homeless have access to that through their nonprofit. They can track people, they can track their housing process. So that's what it's for. It's primarily accessed by large organizations, Colorado Coalition for Homeless, Denver Rescue Mission, and the like. Some smaller nonprofits can access that system, but it's costly and it takes a lot of training.
Do the police access it?
I'm sorry?
Do the police access it?
No. But you do have a contract with All Health, and they most certainly have access to that system.
And do you know if All Health had contact with the
They
gentleman?
did have contact with him. He refused shelter a couple of times. He was confused. I went out there, had a very difficult time getting him off the street, but we got him into a motel. He would have died had we not.
So if All Health had contact with him, that they would have entered his information into the system or should have?
Not necessarily.
Okay, and you as your organization would enter his information into
No,
the
I
system?
do not have access to the HMIS system.
You do not?
I do not.
Okay. Do cities have, do cities use this, so, I'm confused.
Cities can use it, yes.
Okay, so the police should use this so that if they have contact, you said this family has been trying to contact him, had police,
That really wouldn't be a role of the police. It would be a role of the third-party contract provider that you have that provides these services, all health.
okay, I think this, warrants further discussion and education. Thank you so much, and thank you for getting him off the street.
Yes,
We appreciate you.
Ms. Benson, with no further questions, thank you very much for your time tonight. Up next is Rick H. He's also speak about homelessness.
Hello guys, my name is Ricky Hamilton. I'm currently transiting in Englewood. I was in the police department the other day, and I was transferred there and released as soon as I got there. They took me apart from my property. Told me I had to go down there on the key day to get my property out, which was false. I mean, you could have told me that. I'm running spinning my wheels. Spinning my wheels, trying to get my property and give false information about where my property is. I also lost my watch, and I didn't get property, a receipt for my watch. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, just I was inviting you tonight, was that how we're looked as a collective of all of us, and a lot of the mentally ill that are on the street, and you know, you see us with the backpack and think all of us are. I'm a science major. I'm putting my daughter's room, help her go through school. And I'm being treated like a secondary citizen, you know, and in the HMI, as she's talking about, whatever, I was denied a hotel because this last year I had a hotel room and a girl passed away in my room. She had a seizure in her sleep and passed away. Now I cannot get service through that. It was my fault. I called them and let them know, and they came and I was dismissed by the investigation that they did in the room. And it's upsetting to be treated like a secondary class citizen. And we can't go to Denny's. The guys, they won't serve anybody there, and it's at 24 hours. Last time I went there, it was $44 in tips, you know, and I went there last time, I sat there an hour, and she would not bring me a menu. And it was because of the manager. I called corporate, and they said thank you, but, you know, I think a little bit more education should be done about the homeless that are out here and the collective view as far as who we are and who we are and the mentally ill. I mean, really. I mean, I grew up in the system, falsely diagnosed, everything privatized, I don't know what media is that. But, I just came back to me after 23 years, and this place is messed up. I mean, it feels like the system is being sold out here, really, to tell you the truth. And it's just going to make room for money, or whatever. That's, the mentally ill here is, put out in the streets in front of everybody and dropped off in downtown. And, everybody thinks that we're all like that. Some of us are waiting for housing. I've been on housing since 2020, and I'm disabled. I'm 50 years old. Since I've been here, I've been stabbed. I have my teeth knocked out, and I'm just waiting to God pretty much. A lot of people that are in these housing are dying as soon as they get there. I don't know what it is, but I don't think really anybody's taking care about, say, the homeless or those without money to defend themselves. You know, they're written off or put out. You know, they're not given full information or can't pay.
Mr. Hamilton, thank you very much for your time tonight. Any questions for the Member of Council? Go ahead, Member Ray.
I think she's going
Mr. Hamilton, we said we have a couple.
I want to let you know that I do care and I'm listening. Have you been in touch with Movement 5280 and the services that they provide, or any other organizations to help, possibly get you
Yes.
to housing and that type of thing?
Yes, ma'am. I've been going to the current shelter that they have in place at the Lutheran place, and they left non-staff member there, actually, a guy who's in a halfway house there in charge, someone like me, who is using services, and the lady who's in charge there was left him in charge, and they trespassing. You know, trespass, it says representative of the church or of this property. That guy is using the facility like I am. So now I can get service there.
And at the Lutheran place?
Lutheran church, yeah.
And they're not at Movement 5280, they're.
I went there. Yeah, I went there and I tried to get shelter for a hotel voucher, and said, that each might have me, the guy said, yeah, you qualify for it, sat down and said, no, you're black. And, the lady who, the young lady who passed away last June, as soon as we got to the place, we were in, this Motel 6. I woke up and, I went to the park, said, hey, we gotta get out. And I didn't know she was already dead, but I came back in the room and she, she chewed her tongue, she had a seizure, obviously. And, never came to, and I made myself a little because, I'm almost designing, I keep bringing someone back and I'm watching out for him. And I felt really bad about that. Now I'm attacked, that night to be a service. And I'm feeling sorry for you. I didn't do any wrong doing you. And I can't act as a service at times. I know what that meant to her.
And Ms. Benson has your information? Okay.
We've been talking, she's helped me the last couple of nights. The police have sent me in circles. They helped me out. And they gave me a sleeping bag, but, my property is still missing. I was gonna give her property receipts. Basically what I'm saying is, we're one of those state class citizens, and I didn't get proper receipts for my, property. And when they said, oh, I gotta make a claim, and they sent me down there when it's on today. I didn't know the officers, I'm with the house. And they took the property. I had my debit card in there, my laptop, and everything, my ID, because everything's stolen. I understand. People get probably $10 so it's not everybody.
Okay, I appreciate you telling me what's going on. I think,
I have one question.
okay, all right, there's some more questions. I appreciate you coming here, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this right now.
Thank you, Member Wright. Mr. Hamilton, just one question, I think you just clarified it. So you have not received all your property back?
No, I haven't. I missed my watch and necklace, and I had a hoodie from this one here, so I want to see. And that bag was not even written, like fully what I had on. And if I wanted to say, hey, I want my stuff back, it was a very important shirt or a watch, like my dad gave me or something. I can't even,
But that was from the jail.
that's from the jail. But the shirts, because I can't even, can't speak none of this stuff, because homeless and, maybe probably mentally ill too. It's just, looked at as a collective.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Member Russell, go ahead.
My question was about your property also, and so, I appreciate that, and, I'm sorry you're going through this. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Russell. With no further questions, Mr. Hamilton, thank you very much for your time tonight. Up next is Sandy Kelva, here to talk about city council. Good evening, you can just state your name and your address across, please.
Sandy Kelva, Grace and Eastman. I'm addressing 11AI, the request for reimbursement by Daniel Sierra. The invoices that are listed in the attached agenda should have a copy of the item being purchased along with the invoice. Case in point, there is mention of a request for $317.27 for toppers for existing yard signs. The actual invoice at the end of the attached document says it's for custom 18-inch by 24-inch yard signs, corrugated plastic, etc. This does not seem to be for toppers for existing yard signs. How do we know if these yard signs purchased on August 6th, 2023 for the recall for the general election? The picture I gave you shows a sign with no mention of the recall, and that picture is posted on or before August 8th, 2023. It does not appear to be for the recall. Are the signs we purchased for the recall really for the recall? Or are they for the general election? The invoice was not for toppers. This is a problem because you were up for recall and re-election, as was Joe, and it becomes confusing. This is part of the confusion around this whole election. Last week, you stated that you would recuse yourself from the vote. I agree, but there's a problem. There are 2 other city council members that we attempted to recall. They could also request reimbursement. They should also recuse themselves from the vote, since they would benefit from the result also. Reimbursement is not required, and the members that were being recalled should not have a say in their reimbursement. I hope they choose to recuse themselves also from the vote. Or Mr. Sierra, you could withdraw withdrawing the request. Oh, and by the way, notice on the sign, it's posted in the right of way, which is incorrect. It shouldn't have been placed there.
Thank you. Any further comments? Any further questions from members of council? Seeing none, thank you for your time tonight. And that concludes unscheduled public comments. Member Newcamp, you can provide a response when you're ready.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Mr. Cordova, I wasn't here for the first time you were, council last week, I heard I was absent, but thank you for being here and thank you for your feedback as we strive to make sure that the standards, that we have in the city and all our policies are best they can be to serve our citizens. Ms. Benson, thank you for coming and for your, consistent advocacy for those in our community who many, overlook. I appreciate you being here and for your feedback. Mr. Hamilton, thank you so much for being here as well. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. It's really helpful and it informs our ability to make policies and to invest resources in what will be most helpful to everyone in our community. I hope you hear from this council that we do not see you as a second-class citizen of this city, so thank you for being here.
Blah, 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 blah.
I also confirm with staff that we have an officer here tonight out in front. I would like him to speak with you about retrieving your property. So we want to make sure
She's
that
just
is
a talking head.
Thank you for being here. And Ms.
You ready?
Kettle, we will be discussing that
We're
item
done
on the
here.
agenda later this evening. I too find it confusing that there was a recall election so close to a general election, and so we'll be discussing that soon.
She's more concerned about how to get to the next level of office.
Anything else from members of council?
She goes to school on buzzwords and word salads.
Scheduled public comments.
She doesn't give a
We'll move on to
shit.
Consent agenda items. Just one tonight, 9C1. Anyone have any issues with 9C1? If not, can I get a motion to approve 9C1?
So we're gonna go figure out where Ricky is gonna stay warm tonight. Fuck this place.
Mr. Hamilton, oh, thank you so much for coming. That was so nice to hear your story. We don't give two fucks. We're not gonna do anything. Because we're the majority city council and we're just here to figure out how to get elected to the next fucking office. Oops, sorry. Kim Wright, the woman that was asking you.
Hey, sir, are you the guy whose property you had a hard time getting?
It's, okay, so it's getting handled and they gave you back, Englewood gave you back what was yours last night, right?
My
Did we
backpack's
verify
fucked.
that?
Didn't get my watch back or my necklace, dude.
So your
and my
watch and your
shirt
necklace
with the
are the
hoodie.
jail though. They were
Probably.
on,
That's
they
not
were
where it
on,
normally goes.
they were on his,
Mm,
well, the
they said
watch
they
was
would
on your
look for it
jail.
there. They looked for it there.
The jail looked for it?
Yeah, and they couldn't find it, and they went back in there because it was so cold. I kept pressing to go back and, can you please check and see if my hoodie's in there, because I don't have a hoodie. And what I had was a G-Shock. I'm a diver.
Okay.
I'm a marine science major, so I use that in school and stuff. It's the bigger one, you know. I have the model number in the booklet, I think. in
So
my
there's
storage
still
unit.
confusion between whether or not Englewood had that property and took it to the police station or
See, that's what I
took it
told
to
them
the
not
jail.
Separate me from my property, because
Yep.
as soon as they take off, they're just throwing stuff in the car. Everybody's just getting in the car. It's cold, you know. There's stuff's not bagged right, you know.
So Jessen dealt with it last night.
Okay.
I don't know what the total outcome is
yeah,
between
watch.
what's still
So you-
missing.
So it's a watch, a necklace,
Watch,
a necklace, and,
The watch was definitely on the jail
okay.
Yeah,
inventory.
they made me take off.
Okay, so that would be an ACSO thing. Do you have your case number?
I think.
If you don't, that's okay, just like I'm looking into it.
I'm
for
Ricky
you.
Hamilton, 111773. If you want my
Sorry, one more time?
1117.
And I missed your name, sir. Do you have a phone number?
I don't.
Is there a way we can get in contact with you?
They're not gonna do anything.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Right now, but we have a way to get in contact with you.
If you got him on the, he got really nervous. He really got, especially with him getting up as a second class.
Okay.
See,
Good.
We've got two council members
All right,
down there
hey, good luck, brother.
wanting.
I'd like to see some more recall action.
That's possible now.
No, you're good, sir.
next meeting. Oh, yeah. How we go, man? Cause you got that vocabulary, brother.
Yep.
You were
Yes,
going
sir.
down. Well, you got it. I know they weren't ready for it.
They weren't ready for me. I was trying to say as much as I could. But I think they extended my time. Did they extend my time?
Well,
And now
the
there was
question
nothing about
time
the
is,
church.
is separate.
I brought that up accidentally.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was good. I'm glad you kept,
Yeah. I
I'm
tried
glad
to
you
bring
kept
it up,
talking.
because that was a more I could dispute, and they were interested in what was going on. And the lady there.
That lady that was asking you the questions, I do think she has a genuine,
Yeah. The two
she
people
wants to know. She wants to
that- what's
learn.
going- Yeah.
But
I
the
can
woman
come
at the
back and say
end
it.
that provided the comment,
Yeah.
she couldn't
just
give
a-
two shits
yeah.
about you. And as a matter of fact, she attends church right here. They have a
Over here.
church for the city
Mm-hmm.
in this room right over
Yeah, I've been there
here.
one time before.
You went to Sacred Grace?
They came and said, oh yeah, eat some more food and stuff. We came over, it was just sometime in the summertime. You know how they have little
Yeah.
things? Well, they're like, yeah, come on, like later or something. And we came in and it was like, yeah.
I wonder
we
if it
did.
was that church or maybe a
We had
different
some
one.
food and
But this
people were
church doesn't do
hungry.
anything for the homeless.
Yeah,
And
but-
she sits on city council. And their pastor wants all of their church members to get elected.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, so they can run
Yeah,
the
they pay
city.
him more. Him
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And we're seeing how they're running the city.
With the nepotism stuff, all that.
I've got, I
You
mean,
made some really great points, they didn't really.
I'm
didn't
gonna
ask any
file,
questions.
I think I'm gonna file a challenge. Because she should not have voted to give that nonprofit full use of Hampton Hall for her church. She attends that church. She had a personal interest in it. She needed to recuse herself, and she didn't. She literally voted, used her position to tell government we're using taxpayer dollars so I can attend church. That's what she's doing. That is not the same thing as separation of church and state, like people think it is. That's just straight up unethical behavior. It's personal agenda, it's, you know,
Do you
so.
think she saw that?
Well,
Did
she
saw it
wasn't
last time?
here.
I know, but do you think she saw though, what you said?
Undoubtedly. I'm sure the city's already prepping her, right? Regan Benson's already cited our charter on challenging code of ethics. So because every city is a local control city, I can't file at a state level. I have to come back to the city and make an announcement that I'm gonna file that. And I can make that announcement at a city council meeting, and that is the announcement.
Right.
So I'm contemplating it. If these fucking people don't start getting their shit together for things like this and start putting some fucking policies in place, yeah, one by one by one by one. And I fucking mean it, because I'm done. Englewood has gotten away with this shit for way too long. You know, we've talked about it. I've said, when I have time, Englewood is it. And I'm not fucking around now. And I was out there day and night through this storm. And the police department was actually, they were decent. I mean, they did their job. I was out Friday, ran into Fender, the division chief, and I said, what are you gonna do? What are you doing all weekend? Because Sean Lewis didn't have a plan. I emailed him and he's like, oh, I think we use severe weather. But I don't really know the process. And so Sean couldn't even activate an emergency plan for his city. And this isn't just about homeless people. This is about anybody that could have been trapped in that weather. Yes, we know who it's gonna take first, but this city couldn't even activate an emergency plan. And then I see Fender Friday night and I said, so what are you gonna do all weekend when I call you? And you got people out here. He said, we'll figure it out. Well, I shit you not, an hour later, Ricky's trying to get into shelter
And housing.
through that severe weather church up here that they use. It's a third-party nonprofit, and their hours to come to shelter are only 6 to 7. So if you don't get there by 7, you're locked out. So Ricky's there at 9. He's had some injuries. He had staples in his head. He's got all kinds of shit going on, but he gets there at 9, and they won't let him in Friday night. So I called Englewood PD. I said, what are you gonna do? That sergeant ended up driving him out to Aurora, found an overnight shelter in Aurora. Aurora kept him 2 nights, and then Ricky had to make his way back here. So he goes back to that shelter. This dude he's talking about starts giving him shit in the shelter, and he's running the shelter. He's making the decisions to call the cops, and the dude's just barely in sober living. So he wants him to move his bags, and he's like, give me a minute, give me a minute. He's like, no, I don't have to. And they call the fucking cops. And they come fucking arrest him on a warrant out of Jeffco, a fucking traffic warrant. Out of Jeffco, and take him to fucking jail with none of his stuff. They kept all his warm gear here in Englewood, take him to jail. The jail's like, yeah, fuck this, we'll book you and throw you back out. He's fucking sleeping outside the jail lobby all night. He's got nothing warm. They give him a blanket and tell him to hit the road. So he gets on the fucking light rail and comes back over here. And he's going to try to go talk to the woman that runs the shelter last night, which would have been the next night. And I just happened to be there. And the bitch threw him out and told him if he didn't leave, and he didn't even get a chance to talk to her. She's like, get out. Or I'm calling the cops. I'm like, Ricky, let's go. So took him back to Englewood. PD took him to Denver. He'd spent the night in Denver last night, cleared out on Quebec. And so now he's got nowhere to go. And all I'm doing is hooking him up with warm gear, and I want to talk to him about getting him one night if we can. I tried to get him a motel last night. Every place, there was no rooms.
Do you still have that deal with that motel that you use?
Yeah, I do, but that's out of his place, and I only get the weekly rate over there. And now I've got Robert, and I'm just strapped. I said I wasn't doing this, and I just pulled over to talk to Robert the other day, and shit just blew up. I knew what was going to happen.
And you're right, when there's talking about treated like a second-class citizen.
Yeah.
These are the people that are supposed to be helping you, and they're kicking you out and yelling. It's
What'd you
like-
say? They made it worse. They put you in a worse situation.
Worse
They would have let him die last night.
You know, it's like, and I'm not, and all I was, it was a traffic ticket for a non-moving violation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just here trying to, you know, support my daughter and use my grandkids. And I was living in Florida on a boat.
So don't ever wonder why I'm walking around with a camera in Englewood.
Everything. I might have my storage down there. Cafe. We're just going to like, it's just much as let's say in the middle of nowhere or anything else. And they can treat right too, but maybe in the streets is not the place for them. They're dying. I went to 17th and Sherman last year when it was 0 below. Prior to the girl passing away. And I stayed at that place on 17th and Sherman, and we went out looking for, you know, I was helping an outreach, and we found one person dead. And then that person died. I mean, that was just horrible. Now, HIS or whatever that is.
HMIS, that system,
to-
you're flagged.
280, the guy told me, yeah, I was able to get it, but then he goes, yeah, they're saying you can't get services. I'm like, well, I got them last year, and I got it last year, and
Because of the death of that woman.
the death of that girl. She was 22 years old.
And you were never charged with a crime.
She was in her bed, in my bed, and I thought she would say, hey, wake up, we gotta go. We got
You need to
50 minutes.
figure out how to challenge that, Ricky, because they can't continue to do that to you if you
I
weren't.
don't plan on being home and doing this forever. It's just that the cost of living is so much where when I jumped from here and then trying to help her out, that was a little much, you know. And you know, my family has good money, but there's just their means and their ways are expensive. My brother lives in a very expensive house. He's buying my mom a condo, Venice Beach, California. I mean,
But yeah, but you got to
he's a
do.
baby boy now, and it's just like, well, you know, I'm 50.
You got to do you now.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Exactly.
just
And I'm
time.
expecting much help, you know, except maybe services that are available, you know.
Well, I'm gonna.
Stable too, so.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna hook you up with whatever it is you need, whatever you decide.
Or if you wanna drop me off, if you wanna take a ride, and I'll take it to the car.
Do you want to go check it out?
We can do whatever. Okay, let's go talk.
Okay. Well, I gave you some options, so you get to pick. But Dwight, thank you again. It's always a pleasure. All my friends that watch you, they totally adore you
Thank you, Rudy.
because you are the only consistent professional here, and we really appreciate it. I wouldn't say the only. I shouldn't be so. The guy's in the court. That guy running the courtroom every day. What's his name?
I don't know his name.
No, not him.
Oh, James, the other.
Your guy that runs, yeah. Super nice, super professional. But yeah, Allied goes through their stuff, but Dwight does a damn good job. And are you now the supervisor of this operation?
No, I'm not.
Who is?
The guy you met, Dave. He has an English accent, that one?
That's here tonight?
I thought you met him, but I'm not sure.
I don't know that we officially met. Was he here earlier down in the library?
Yeah, he was down there.
Okay.
I'll introduce you to him next time.
Yeah,
you're
please
around.
do.
Okay.
Because I'd like to know who the supervisor is, so when I run into any issues, like your guy downstairs copping an attitude with me over me not signing my name to use the bathroom, I'm not playing this fucking game anymore. I'm not. And remember, Sean said that he sent me an email. Yeah, we're going to work on that. Yeah, they ain't doing shit. They're still trying to collect everybody's name to use the bathroom. Ricky, I'm going to be downstairs. Bye, Dwight. Send him on his way here shortly. I got to get home. I'm spent. And I just received a text from Robert's family, and they would like to take him home. So I need to see what that's going to look like. I mean, home is here, but they said that they're kind of strapped, and he's got a whole lot of stuff coming up. So I, of course, always work exceptionally hard to keep family first and foremost in all of these processes. Maybe this will work and I can simply support them, making sure he gets to his appointments, because that would take some stress off of having to shelter him for the long term. So this could be on that. But I don't want to put them in a worse situation and make everybody in a worse situation. So let's hope that works out. But for now, I just want to thank everybody for tonight, being in here. Appreciate your support. Yeah, I think their relationships are good, but it is his ex-wife. So there is that, right? So there's a reason people aren't compatible anymore. And but she is the one that was looking for him. So yeah, keep your fingers crossed, you guys. And we're having a heat wave right now. I think it's like 25 degrees right now. So it's still cold. It's in a heat wave. It was 35 or so today. I think it's going to be about 50 tomorrow. Danny, thank you. Good to see you as well. Thanks for your support as well. Jerry says hi to everybody. Jerry and I, we got to get together. We've been planning this since like the beginning of December. And then Jerry went and spent the holidays with his family, so that was freaking awesome. But he's back, and we're supposed to be doing lunch. And he wants to do a little video to say hey to everybody. And yeah, we don't know that there's any relationships to mend. It's just, it was just a comment she made. But I just need to talk to these folks and make sure that this is a workable situation. So, yeah, you can hear it, can't you? It's just my throat. I feel okay. I just been doing a lot of talking in the cold, and I think that's what it is. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for being here.